Hello and a very warm welcome. In today's video we have a serious video. I'm not messing about. I want this guy out and I want him out today. It's not going to happen. The drivers now need to come together to force this corrupt fraud out before F1 literally steps 1 foot into the coffin, if it's not already there. This guy wants control. He wants to police everything, from radio messages to penalties to treating the drivers like children. He has to go, and has to go tonight. But like I say, this should have been sorted. It was already an issue last season when the drivers had to write him a letter to tell them, treat us like adults, not like children. Give him penalties for swearing. We had this issue last season and it should have been addressed by the start of this season, and it's not. This guy should be out, and all 20 drivers need to grow a set of bollocks and come together and force this corrupt fraud out. The drivers, the heroes of the sport. That's how it should be. The stewards, the FIA president, they get far too much media coverage. It should be about the drivers, and I want this guy out. I want him out. F1, literally, if it's not already in the coffin, is going to be 2 feet in the coffin with this guy. I mean, I see the other day, he now wants to police the radio messages. The drivers are going robotic. Literally every interview is going to be the same. Every radio message is going to be the same. He wants to police the radio messages. So how are they going to talk about strategy and all this? How are the fans going to know what's going on? If they're a new fan, they won't have an idea. The radio messages are unique. One of the best videos F1 puts out after the weekends of all the radio. This guy's a fraud. I've had enough of him. He needs to fuck off. Back to where he came from. But the drivers now need to do something about it, because he's not going anywhere till the drivers call him out. The GPDA did write a letter, but now they need to go further. Every driver just put rivalry aside and come together to save the great sport that is Formula 1. It's not a laughing matter now. It's not a joke. I'm serious. I'm annoyed. I'm angry. This guy has to be put in the bin. He's a terrible FIA president. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't get it. He's not from the same bread that we're from. You know, he doesn't get it. He's not a fan of the sport. He's just rolling money out of the sport. Yeah, ridiculous. I mean, he makes Max do a day of bullshit in Rwanda. Just waste of money, waste of time, waste of energy, and we want to save the climate and the world. What a load of bollocks. But let's fly to Rwanda. I've already done a rant video against this guy. He's got to go. I'm tired of him. Are we going to go into the 2025 season with this guy still as the FIA president? What's he going to do next? You're only allowed to race on one tyre. I mean, it's not even a joke anymore. You're not allowed to celebrate winning a race. You're not allowed to spray champagne on the podium. When's it end? Where's the cut-off point? Get this guy out now. Get him on a plane back to wherever he came from and give him a one-way ticket, because this guy is taking F1. F1's in a bad place, in my view. The calendar's not up to par. All round, it looks a bit of a joke at the minute. And that kills me inside, because I'm a Formula 1 fan. I want the sport to look good. Under this guy, it is shit. I mean, he's policing swearing. I want to see emotion. I want to see passion by the drivers. I want to see aggression, you know? I don't want the drivers robotic, giving the same answer in every interview. I want emotion. I like Max, that he has a pair of bollocks to call it out, because he's the only driver that will call it out. He's not scared. He's not bothered. And yeah, we all know the FIA are trying to force Max out because he's different and he speaks his mind. People in today's world do not like people who speak up. Max does not fit into the society of today's forced world. He's got bollocks about him, and the other 19 drivers need to get behind him and call this guy out. There's always a cut-off point. I say it with managers in football. There's a cut-off point. Drivers as well. This guy has gone beyond that cut-off point. He needs to go. I want to see the drivers protest against this fraud and force him out. The drivers are our only hope to get rid of this guy. Yeah, he's come out with ridiculous statements, policing swearing. Yeah. Radio messages. We're not rappers. We don't need to drop F-bombs every 5 seconds. People want to see emotion. Like, if you don't like swearing, go and watch water polo or something, or lacrosse, because Formula 1's not for you. Formula 1's aggressive. It's intense. You know, we're not here to watch robots. We want to be. I watch Formula 1 for the competition, the racing, the sound. We don't have that now. Yeah, it's painful. It's painful to see this fraud still in charge going into a new season, because I just don't know what he's going to do next. They've wrote a letter to him. Fuck the letter, man. Protest against him. Protest against him. And protest against him. Force him out. You've got huge names in the sport. Lewis Hamilton, who's openly come out and said this guy's a racist. You've got Max, basically saying he's a fraud. Russell, main man in the GPDA, wrote him a letter. It's got to be more. These guys need to speak. Fernando Alonso, 2-time champion, needs to speak. Get the Spanish behind you. Everyone speak up. And then everyone follows. I don't know one guy or one person or one gender that wants this guy still in charge. Yeah, that's my message. Every driver, call it out, protest, and protest. Don't do the interviews, don't do anything, just don't speak to the media. Force this guy out. He is an absolute corrupt bastard, he's a fraud, and should not be the FIA president. That is, I mean, John Todd, he was bad enough with his Ferrari links. But, you know, they're all corrupt, the FIA presidents. You had, back in the past, the French one, Jean-Marie Balès, was it? Always against Senna. They're all corrupt. Just corruption. This guy hasn't got Formula 1 in his veins. Are you telling me, as a young nipper, wherever he was from, Mohammed MBS, the great MBS, he used to turn on his TV and watch Michael Schumacher and Mika Hakkinen? Oh, mind you, he is quite old, so it was probably more like Denny Hulme and Jackie Stewart, but he's not got it in him. He's not turned his TV on as a young nipper, 5 years of age, watching F1. Bollocks. Absolute bollocks. He hasn't got the passion. He hasn't got the minerals. Get him out tonight. I'd sack him today. Right, as I record this, it's 12:38. I'd sack him by 12:39. No arguments. Drivers, please come together. Save this sport, because if this guy's in charge, wow, the FIA president, he isn't. Fraud FIA president. Sack this fraud now. Comment down below your thoughts. Yeah, he needs to go. I would sack him, but now it's serious. It's serious business. The drivers need to come together, protest, and force him out. Otherwise, we're in the shit if we're not already there. Street circuits, oh, police me, oh, fuck off, and fuck off, MBS. How's that for swearing, you cunt?